And good Saturday morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me once again here in CBM. Uh, as you can see by the title card and by the screen in front of you, my partner and brother in comics is not here with us this week. He has to work. He will be making extra money to buy some more comics. I know he's coming up to go to Heroes Con, but we may be able to get a little visit from him later on. So I hope you stick around for that. So it is another cold morning here. I don't know what the temperature is right now, but boy, I'm telling you, my hands are frozen. It's 10 degrees. There we go, 10 degrees. Oh, look at that. I'm back in the cell phone business. I finally got my phone to work, and I finally figured out how to make it work after going through quite a lengthy process, which I hope I don't have to do again. But we are back in business, so yay for that. So this week, I wanted to, it was just gonna be me. I wanted to do a show about comics, certain comics that mean something to me, that are important personally to me. And throughout the show, I hope you guys will share the same thing with me. What books that you collected or had as a kid really meant something to you, and maybe you were able to, maybe you still have them, maybe you were able to buy other copies of them just to have them for a special reason. So I'm hoping you guys will share your stories. You guys usually aren't too shy, so I'm not too worried about that. So I pulled a bunch of stuff, and these are just some. I mean, a small amount of the comics that really mean a lot to me for one reason or another, and we'll share the stories and whatnot. Looking forward to it. But I'm going to start off. First, I want to start off by some well wishes to a lot of you who've been around a while might remember Fens the Spook. He used to do videos, and he was big into the horror comics and stuff like that. I've been in touch with him over the last month or so. He was having a little bit of health woes here, so when I talked to him yesterday, the day before, I think it might have been, and I just wanted to send out some well wishes to Fens. Hope everything is going well, my friend. I'm sending out prayers and good thoughts to you. Also want to say hi to Hans, Captain Strange-Life, and hope his wife is still recovering well. It sounds like she is, from what I heard on Graphic Man's show Wednesday night. And if you didn't see that, you got to go back and watch it. Great group of people on the show, and they showed some awesome books, so you definitely got to check it out. But yeah, his wife had been injured, and she's doing much better from what he said that night. So good for them. I'm sorry, I'm just freezing. Whoa, man, I didn't get to start the wood stove yet today. So anyway, so let's see. Let's start off with bringing in the peanut gallery. Here we go. Well, maybe not. Here we go.
The peanut gallery's on the run. We got the comics, you bring the fun. Saturday morning, time to cheer. Man, we're glad you're here. North, south, east, and west, peanut gallery, you're the best. All our friends, both far and near. Man, we're glad you're here.
We are definitely glad you guys are here with us once again. We got a couple of early risers here. Let's see. We've got Scotty Z70. He says it's 2:23 a.m. Why haven't we started? He says. Oh man, 2:30 in the morning. Man, I was still in La La Land for sure. Not by much, though. I think I went to bed at like midnight. I think I finally shut the computer off at midnight. So, Scotty, great to have you with us once again. Thank you so much. And then we've got Sleepy Rita, Damien. How you doing, Damien? He said 7 hours too early. Oh my gosh. Over there on the West Coast. Oh, I hope you're doing better. I hope you got a little more sleep in that 7 hours, Damien. Oh, and Scotty says, well, there's a reason you're sleepy, which is perfect. Oh, all right. Great to have you both with us. And we're going to bring in the usual suspects here. So hold on. Let me just... What? It won't. My mouse is giving me a hard time to click. The mouse is frozen too. So, hold on. Here we go. All right, Anthony Perdue is with us once again. I'm going to share one of his comic book childhood memories. So let's get started. Anthony Perdue says, good morning, Peanut Peers. 1967. Oh, one of my favorite years as a kid. My Aunt Rose was going to high school. Her best friend, who lived next door to her, was a girl by the last name of Delgado. Mr. and Mrs. Delgado were really nice people. Mr. Delgado always wore a sports car cap and glasses. He always smiled and waved when he saw me. One late afternoon, we were visiting my grandparents. Mom let me go to the corner mom and pop store before we left for home. I could get, I could get me a couple of comics, and one of them was House of Mystery with Robbie Reed and Martian Manhunter, my favorite run of the series. I went to stand in line at the counter. Mr. Delgado was ahead of me buying something. He saw me behind him and said to me, here, let me get those for you. Oh, wow, nice. And Anthony says, he added my comic books to his purchase. I thanked him in the store and thanked him again when we walked to his car. I waved to him as he drove off. The next day we were again going over to my grandparents, to our grandparents. Mom had been talking to Grandma on the phone. I found out that Mr. Delgado left the store and he had gone to the beach, covered himself in sand, and shot himself. Oh, that took a turn. I wasn't ready for that. Mom, Grandma, and Aunt Rose went over to console Mrs. Delgado and her daughter. Oh. And Anthony says there was a big emptiness in the neighborhood with Mr. Delgado gone. It was always times like those that a kid wished he could be like Robbie Reed and Dial H for Hero. Yeah. Anthony says, have to catch a replay, my friend, this morning at 7:30. I will be at the vet's. Emergency call for one of our family cat pets. Oh, well, I hope everything's all right with your cat. We'll be sending out prayers and good thoughts your way for that. That was I did not expect the story to take such a turn. Oh my gosh, man. I can't imagine that. I can't imagine. And I know there are people out there who have struggle with stress or struggle with life just in general. And sometimes they have thoughts of doing harm to themselves. And if you do, man, don't do it. Just go and get help. Call somebody, call a friend, call your parents, call your best friend, just call somebody and get some help, man. Yeah, you don't want to, I can never I always say this when I've talked to my kids and stuff, that I could never see myself getting to that point where I think leaving this earth is better than being with the people I love. Now, that's just me. That's just me. I know there are people. I've met people. I had a friend who struggled with that stuff, and it's a struggle. It really, really is a struggle. So if you ever have any kind of thoughts or anything like that, please call somebody, talk to somebody. They have hotlines. Just get in touch with somebody immediately, and hopefully you can get some help to help you get through it. So, Anthony, thank you so much for that story. Let's bring back memories, getting a little teary-eyed. But thank you so much, as always, for your story. We greatly appreciate it. Hopefully, everything will be okay with your cat as well. So we're hoping everything works out well for you today, Anthony. So take care, and we'll see you on the rewind. All right, next up in the batter's cage, it's our buddy, ECR. All right, ECR has written another comic tune for us, so I'm going to give it my best shot. I got to get back to the comments so I can see where. Here we go. Now, I'm not real good at rhythm and blues or soul. It's not my forte, but I am going to do my best because he's written such a great little piece there. I love it. He says, "Good morning, everyone." We got the sunshine. He's waving. Got the shades going. He says to the tune of "Let's Get It On" by Marvin Gaye. All right, well, let's try this. Me. I've been really trying, baby, trying to make it through the week so long. And if you feel like I feel, baby, then come on. Oh, come on. Woo! CBM is on. Ah, baby, CBM is on. Let's watch it, baby. CBM is on. Sugar. CBM is on. Woo-hoo-hoo. There we go. That's as good as it gets from these old pipes. I hope I did you proud, Easy. Thank you so much for writing another gem, man. I really appreciate it. And I told you last night, I wrote him a little note to thank him for writing these, and where he's doing his variety show and everything now. I know what it takes to prep for a show and get the things that you want done, that kind of show. And I told him I just really, really appreciate the fact that he is still taking the time to write these for us. We greatly appreciate it, man. Mike, they are awesome, and you are a big part of what we do here. And thank you again so much for doing that, brother. We really appreciate it. So thank you once again for that musical styling, CZ. We love it. All righty. And what do we got coming up next? We got Scotty Z70. He says, "I'm awake again." He says 66 minutes away. Oh, he's closing in on it. I am one of us. Hey, I am one of us. How you doing this morning? Great to have you with us once again. He says, "Good morning, Rod and Shannon and all of the chat. Cool beans. Great to have you with us." Scotty says, "Watching Orbital Bacon for the next 50 minutes. Right now, we are watching Adventures of the Galaxy Rangers." Yeah, I think they show old cartoons, if I'm not mistaken. I've watched that channel once or twice. Now that Now that is a cartoon that needed action figures, he says. He also says, now we're watching Dungeons and Dragons. I remember that. Dungeons and Dragons, The Time Lost. And hold on. I should have looked ahead. Hold on. And good morning to Maranya, the Baroness of the Blue Wrench. Thank you so much for being here. Excuse me. And excuse me. It gets so dusty down here. Thank you again, Maranya, for helping out and running herd on everybody here and keeping me in line with that pause line. I'm looking to start at 10:30. That's what I'm looking to start showing comics. I want to try to get in the habit of by 10:30 we start showing comics. How's that? Maranya says, I wish we could dilate for Hero 2, Anthony. My thoughts and prayers go with you and your pet, as do we all. She says, enjoy the replay. So, yes. She also says, great song as always, ECR. Dolly June and Amos Moses are grooving to it too, I bet. I think you're right. She also says, good morning to you, Scotty. How are you and your dad? Lil Bit, Tom Tom, Goldilocks, Midnight, and Tomboy doing? She got them all in. I don't know how you remember them all. I can't remember what I had for breakfast this morning. So, and Maranya says, good morning to you. I am one of us. And we got, she's saying good morning to Rod, Shannon, the Peanut Gallery, the Nuts of the Day, the Foofs, the studio audience, and Maranya's Legion of Peanut Pets. And with that, I think it's appropriate to play the Legion of Pets. So there we go. Good morning to the Legion of Peanut Pets as well. So thank you again, Maranya. And I am one of us, says Maranya. Good morning and a big old wave. Hey, Higgy Pop is with us. There we go. We get the bell for the Higgy Pop. He says, hey there, Hot Rod and Shannon, the bass cannon, and all the peanuts in the peanut gallery. Well, hello and good morning to you, Higgy. Great to have you with us once again. I'm going to lose my voice here. Excuse me. Oh. There we go. Now, hopefully we're back here. So, Higgy, great to be with you once again, man. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. As always, appreciate it. And we've got the Professor Eric Breen is with us. And here we go. Boy, this is going to test the old pipes. Hello. I hope I did you proud, Eric. Great to have you with us, Professor. Thank you so much. I actually, it's funny because I was watching, what was it? I think it was Engeltein's channel. I Love Comics. You guys were doing Sea Devils covers last night, ranking them. And I had already pulled out last week I had pulled out a bunch of Sea Devils to show, but I never got to them. So it was just funny. I'm like, oh, what are the chances that such an obscure title that people are thinking about it? So that was awesome. I got to watch a little bit of it before I nodded off. So, and Scotty Z70 says, I'm almost back. Let me grab a snack to tide me over until the second breakfast. There you go. I am one of us says hello to Higgy Pop. Maranya says, Higgy Pop, how are you and Hawk Dog doing? I've been watching your latest video and it made me smile. I can't believe that. I don't think Higgy's ever made a video that won't make you smile. He is. I'll tell you, some of them I'm worn out at the end. He's got so much energy. I wish I had a quarter of your energy, Higgy. You are awesome, 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 awesome. And Maranya says hello to you too, Eric. I am one of us says, hello, Scotty and Eric Green. She's giving a big wave. Missing Mars. Hey, Double M, how you doing this morning? He said, good morning to all of you. Good morning to you, sir. Great to see you once again. Hope your Saturday's going well, my friend. Going to show some comics. And like I said, I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear, what comics, mean something to you. Is there a certain issue? Maybe the first issue you ever bought, is the most important book you've ever had. I want to know what books mean, what books are important to you and why they are important to you. So that's what we're looking for today. RDV, hey, how you doing, RDV? He says, I'm awake. Who needs sleep when I can have eggs, bacon, and orange juice? There you go. Sounds like a breakfast of champions right there. Great to have you with us. Scotty says, I'm back, but I'm about to have Dorito powder on my fingers. Uh-oh, don't be reading comics with that Dorito powder on there. It'll mess them up. Maranya says, good morning to you and Ludwig, Double M. And turkey sandwiches are my breakfast here. There you go. I think for my breakfast, it's still got like half a English muffin with peanut butter on them. So, and I got a big old mug of Dunkin' Donuts. It's just a Dunkin' Donuts mug. It didn't come, the stuff inside is hot cocoa. So, and it's finally cooled down to where I can drink it. So, Crazy Hungarian, hey Joe, how you doing, man? Great to have you with us once again. He says, good morning, Rod, and a good morning to you, sir. Hope all is going well. I know you're probably just as cold over your way as we are up here, so hopefully you're staying nice and warm. Hey, Dale, how you doing, man? Good morning, all. Burr, burr, and burr. I second that motion, sir. It has just been really, really cold this past week. Several nights down into the sub-zero, and not really get until really like yesterday, maybe a little bit of the day before, did it get back up into the 30s for us up here. So that's when you start worrying about, your car battery dying on you and stuff like that, and have to jump start the cars and all kinds of fun like that. So great to have you with us, Dale. And Crazy Hungarian says, good morning to the Peanut Gallery. Yes, sir. RDV says, if you need a co-host, I recently got some cool Jonah Hex books. I did too. I got a bunch of them. What did I do with them? Oh, what did I do with them? Did I leave them upstairs? I think I did. I think I did leave them upstairs. Yeah, I've been trying. I finally got Jonah Hex #1, which I think I showed it last week. Yeah, I think I did show it last week. So I finally got that one. That was all on my radar for a long, long time, man. They're just cool books, good reads, and who doesn't love a good Western, right? Scotty Z says the temperature right now is 38. Well, that's 28 degrees higher than I've got right here. Woo! So enjoy it. That's like a heat wave for us now. RDV says, I'm trying to complete my collection. Yeah, I'm right there with you, RDV. Trying to do the same thing. Just so many different series that I'm trying to complete. And excuse me, there's just not enough room in the wallet to afford them. So that's the thrill of the hunt. You know, you pick them up when you see them and when you can afford them. That's a thrill of the hunt, man. I love that. Maranya says, good morning, Hungarian Dale and RDV. And Crazy Hungarian says, good morning to Maranya. And Maranya says, 22 degrees here. Pretty warm in comparison to recently. I hear you. I hear you. 22. That's chilly. That's chilly. RDV says it's 25 outside and 73 in my room. There you go. I had it up to like 75, I think, last night. The old wood stove was cranking last night. So, Tempest from Mars. Hey, Tempest, how you doing? He says, afternoon, all. Great to have you with us once again. I just saw Tempest recently on I hope I don't screw up the title, on Gray Man's channel on Geeky Weekly, or it's Weekly Geeky. I can't remember which way it goes, but I love to watch him on there. So I get to check him out on there, and you guys can check him out as well, and also check out his channel because he always has great comics to show. So great to have you with us, Tempest. Thanks, man, for joining us again, man. Scotty Z says, Squadron Supreme, 12-issue series of the 80s. Yes. Blew my mind. It made me really think about free will versus criminal reform. Over the years of reading, I went from one side to the other. I love that series, though. I love Squadron Supreme. They're one of my favorite supervillain teams, superhero teams, depending on who's writing them and where they are. Hey, and speaking of the Gray Man, look who's here. Gray Man, hey, great to have you with us, man. Thank you so much for joining us all the way from across the pond. He says, howdy diddly doodly, folks. Oh, man. Don't forget to check out Gray Man. Got Cover Slingers going on today about 2 o'clock Eastern time. So don't forget to check his channel out as well. Thank you for joining us, Gray Man. Maranya says, good morning to you from this side of the pond. TFM, Gray Man, Lady Lisa, and Papalina, pretty ballerina. Oh, she is the queen of the dancing floor. I think of that ABBA song every time I see that name. Papalina, ballerina. Cool beans, cool beans. Under the cowl of MS. Hey, great to have you with us, sir. He says, morning all. Coffee is on. Now time to wake up with the doc. Well, that's all you get to wake up with today is me. My brother had to work, so unfortunately he's not here to help drop the knowledge, because man, he's the knowledge guy. I'm just the guy who shows the covers. But we have fun, man. We have fun. So thank you so much for joining us under the cowl. Appreciate it, man. Scotty says, does anyone here know about snow? We've got 2 to 4 inches of snow on Tuesday night, and the stuff is still here. When will it go away? It's beginning to remind me of family that comes to visit and won't go home, right? Yeah. Well, we got about 5 to 6 inches out on the lawn right now. So yes, I know all too well about snow. I wish I didn't. I am not a friend of snow, and snow is not a friend of mine. It's funny because when you're a kid, playing out in the cold and stuff never bothered you. Or never bothered me. We'd go out, we'd drag our stuff down to the frog pond, shovel it off, and play hockey for hours. And just go outside, and but when we got old enough, we'd drive the snowmobiles around the backyard and through the woods and stuff like that. You never thought about the cold. I was trying to pinpoint it. When did they put cold into snow? I figure it's right the very first time that somebody hands you a snow shovel and says, go to it. That's my thought process. I'm sticking with it. That's my story. I'm sticking with it because ever since then, I've hated winter, and it's been cold, cold, cold. And I can't tell you, man. My hands are like ice right now down here in the frozen tundra. So Higgy Pop says prayers for Hans' wife. Yes, absolutely. She's doing well, though, according to Hans there. Like I said, he was on Graphic Man's show Wednesday night. It was kind of like a mini reunion of the fossils, which was pretty cool to see. And he had mentioned that his wife was doing much, much better. So that's great to hear. So absolutely, Higgy. Michael Taylor, hey Michael, how you doing, man? Great to have you with us, sir. He says hi, Ron, and howdy to you, sir. Hope your Saturday's going well so far, anyway. And Higgy Pop says my favorite comics are the ones that were gifted to me from the comic community. Well, there you go. That's and that is very true. I've been lucky enough to get a lot of AOKs and gifts like that as well. And you are absolutely correct. That is one of the best feelings that somebody is taking a book from their collection, and we're all collectors, so we know what they mean to us. And for them to do that, to take a book from their collection and give that to me, that I hold that in high reverence. I really do. I think I've spoken before about it, and you are absolutely right, Higgy. That is one of the biggest. I can't think of I don't have the words because it means so much to me. Yes, you are absolutely correct. I can't say it any better than you said it. So absolutely. And Maranya says, good morning to Damien and Millie and Kyle and Lemmy Kill Myself. That great name. Lemmy Kill Myself. And Michael. Great. Got them all in there. And I am already 4 minutes past my target time. I'm sorry. Scotty says, yeah, I finally got Little Bit to come in. He was out all night. Oh, man. I wonder what he does all night. Anyway, got a GoPro cam for cats. Oh, wouldn't that be funny? Find out where he goes out and he goes to like some kiddie nightclub or something, Be like Top Cat or something. Michael Taylor says hi to Maranya. Maranya says, I believe they make GoPro cams small enough for cats to wear, Scotty. The trick is to get a Little Bit to wear the camera and keep it on. And Scotty says, yeah, none of my cats have ever worn anything, Maranya, except for their fur coats. Yeah. Same with our cats. We've never put collars on our cats. Our cats don't go outside. However, our cats are total domestic cats. They stay inside. We used to have cats at my parents' house when I lived there that would go out. They'd just go out. They'd go out in the woods, and one of them actually kind of befriended a skunk. They'd be walking around the backyard together, not fighting, not at each other's throats or anything, just walking like they were having a Sunday stroll. I always marveled at that. It's like, how do I don't? They were both black fur, and of course, skunks black and white, and Portia, that was the name of the cat. Portia was a black cat, a Manx, which probably most of you cat lovers would know that Manxes are born, they don't have any tail. So she was just a great cat. Oh, you could rough her up, man. I used to take her and suplex her onto the couch, and she would just go, and then I put my hand up like this, and she would like attack it with her paws, and grab a hold of it and start to bite it. And then she could tell when you stopped, when you gave up the resistance. She knew it was time to stop, and she would just, go about her business and come back. And then you put it back up again. She's right back at it. I miss her. She was a great cat. Maranya says, maybe try putting it on and giving him treats if he stays with it. Gray Man says, cheers, Maranya. Poppy is snoozing on me right now. There you go. That's the best, man. That's the best. They get him to sleep on you. I love that. Scotty says, Catwoman's in the Cradle and the Silver Surfer, Little Boy Blue Beetle, and the Man in the Moonlight. There you go. He's writing his own lyrics. There you go. Easy Comic Reader says, you done good, brother. Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate your kind words. Oh, but thank you, Mike, for doing those. Really appreciate it, man. More than you know. Hey, Graphic Man, how you doing, Micah? Great to have you with us, sir. He says, hello, fellow enthusiasts. Great show the other night, Micah. I was just talking about it not too long ago. Had a lot of fun watching you guys on there and interacting with everybody. It was a lot of fun. Great stuff. It just very reminiscent of the old Fossils show. And you know as well as I do, it is sorely missed. So, and Miranda says good morning to Micah, as does Michael Taylor. And Miranda says, caught the rest of your show on the replay. Great stuff, Micah. Yes, sir. Comic book curator. Hey, Jeff, how you doing, man? Great to have you with us, sir. He says, hello, my friends. I'll watch the rewind. Y'all enjoy y'all's cold Saturday. There you go. It was funny because I'm in touch with Jeff on Facebook, and he sends me cool clips every once in a while. And he sent me one yesterday, I think it was. Yeah, I think it was last night. He sent me one about toy, an action figure. How many of you out there are old enough to remember J.J. Arms? As soon as I saw the name, it clicked with me. I remember that it was actually, he was like a private detective, a private investigator, a real person. And he, something happened that he had lost his hands. And I remember he had hooks, and he used to be on he'd do the talk show circuit, but they made an action figure of him, J.J. Arms. And you could take his hands off and put in special gadgets like suction cups and stuff like that. I hadn't thought about that in years. And he sent me a commercial clip of it last night, and oh man, it took me right back. Cool memories, man. Wow. Thank you again, Jeff. Miranda says, hey there, CBC, enjoy the replay, stay warm. Scotty says, I was away from the keyboard, giving some love to Lil Bit, letting him know I missed him when he's out all night. All the cats are doing fine. Good to hear. Tomboy is an outsider to the other four. They're still afraid of him. And Michael Taylor says, Rod, yeah, those Sea Devil covers were amazing. Yeah, they had some really good covers on those, and it was good to see him ranking them last night on Engeltein's show channel. I love comics. So, cool beans. Eric Breen says, Rod, would you mind plugging Engeltein's auction tonight on I Love Comics at 8 o'clock? Not at all. Not at all. If you get a chance, check out I Love Comics tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern. I assume that's Eastern time. And he always has a lot of good stuff, a lot of good comics for auction. And he starts off with, dollar books and stuff like that. And then they gradually go up, but they're not very pricey at all. He calls it the affordable auction, and it is truly an affordable auction. So if you get the chance, get over there tonight and check him out and help him out. I know he's going through, him and his wife going through a little bit of a rough patch financially. So if you guys can help him out, 8 o'clock tonight, definitely get over there, and I guarantee you're going to get some great books as well out of the deal. So definitely go check him out tonight. So, and I also want to mention why, speaking of auctions, I forgot to do it at the top of the show. By now, probably everybody knows, but just in case those of you who might not have gotten the word yet, Triple C will not be able to do his claim auction this afternoon. He usually does it at like 1:15. His laptop died on him, so he does not have a way to do it, to do StreamYard and whatnot. So he will not be having his usual claim sale this week. He will be back next week, he thinks, to be back on and do it just like always. Now, in place of Triple C doing his, he's kind of passed the baton to Psychotronic Squirt Gun Aaron, who will be doing his claim auction today. And I think he said it's 2 p.m. Pacific. No, 10 p.m. Pacific. So that would make it like 2 o'clock, I think. It's either 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock. And I'm sorry, I don't know the time zones. I probably, skipped out to have pizza during school when they were teaching that. But definitely check out Aaron, Psychotronic Squirt Gun Aaron claim sale today at I believe it's going to be 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock. I'm not sure. It's 10 o'clock Pacific time. So if you guys can figure it out, you're better than me. So definitely check them out, and you can get some comics there. And then tonight, you can get more comics over there at Engeltein's I Love Comics at his auction. So definitely, there's plenty of places to get great books at great prices. So everybody should check it out today. This is a place to be for comics that you can afford. Absolutely. What did I do? Okay, there we go. So, all right, cool beans. Awesome. And Maranya says, Scotty, check out the Cole and Marmalade channel for tips on how to get cats to get along with each other. I'm not familiar with Cole and Marmalade. Is that about just dealing with cats and stuff? I'm curious, because I love to watch videos about cats and stuff like that. There was a cat that the lady puts a voice to, and Penny was the cat's name. And oh my gosh, it was funny. Me and my wife would sit up and watch those for an hour. Scotty says, eggs, that man's a millionaire. Yeah, eggs are so expensive. Scotty says, Maranya, I was told too late to keep them on different sides of a door so they can smell each other first before seeing. I think the problem was that Tomboy wasn't fixed. That could end wars. Maranya, she's providing you with the channel URL, So there you go. Cool beans. Thank you so much, Maranya. Appreciate that. And I'm sure Scotty does as well. Diabetic Superman. Hey, DS, how you doing, man? Thank you so much for hanging out with us this morning. He says, hey, Rod and the Peanut Gallery. And hey to you, sir. Hope your Saturday's going well. Oh, my gosh. I'm 15 minutes over my time now. Let's see. Michael Taylor says, Rod, there's really no comics that have a personal meaning to me. I just love comics. And there's nothing wrong with that either. So good. Because I'm the same way. I just love comics. I love the medium. There are books that I will show that have personal meaning to me for one reason or another. But absolutely, that's perfectly fine. It's just such a great medium, especially if you get into it as a kid. Because to me, it just opened up a whole new world of imagination and stuff like that. So, I mean, it just holds such nostalgia for me and such good memories. I mean, that's what it really boils down to. Just great memories for me. Hence the reason we call this show Comic Book Memories. Thanks to Shannon. He's the one who came up with the title, because I was struggling trying to find a title that captured what I wanted the flavor of the show to be, and he come right up with that, no problem, boom, and it's perfect, and that's exactly how we feel. So that's awesome. Maranya says, yes, that is one of their tips. And Maranya says, good morning, DS. How are you and Shadow doing? The Shadow knows. Scotty says, clicked it to another tab for later. Thanks, Maranya. Cool beans. Maranya says, you're welcome. They also have great funny cat videos. Yes. Hey, August Acetic. How you doing? I got your name right. He says, greetings, Rod and Lady M, and greetings to you, sir. Hope your Saturday's going well. Thank you so much for hanging out with us here. And Maranya says, greetings to you as well, Double A. Diabetic Superman says, I have the whole first volume of Jonah Hex, working on completing volume 2. Oh, wow. Excellent. Excellent. I'm probably a good 50 issues, maybe even 50 plus away from completing the first volume of Jonah Hex. But man, I'm working on it. I'm working on it because I really love the character. So that's awesome. Congratulations on that, DS. Michael says, I wish I could remember the first comic I ever bought. Unfortunately, I can't, but I do remember my childhood spinner rack. Oh, there you go. Those places that you used to visit as a kid to pick up those comics, and you couldn't wait to get there. I love them. DS says, Shadow and I are doing good, Maranya. And Scotty says, snowmobiles? We have golf carts here. Detector Mo, my friend here, took a video of his neighbor kids driving on an ATV with a flat boat behind it and full of kids. They've never seen snow like this. Oh, man. No, we used to have snowmobiles. Arctic Cat was the brand. Arctic Cat snowmobiles. Had an Arctic Cat Puma and an Arctic Cat Lynx. And man, that was fun. I mean, I always thought it was just pretty cool because it was like, look at me, I'm adulting. I'm able to drive a snow machine because that was my dad. My dad was big into the snow machines and stuff. My dad was a mechanic all his life and stuff, so he loved machines, machinery, and stuff like that. But yeah, so it was like when he kind of, he said, "Hey, no, go ahead and take the machine." Start up, and he showed me how to do it. And to me, that was like a coming of age moment right there with me and my dad. So, and I used to love to ride through the woods that we had once after a real heavy snow, because it would just stay on the trees and going through the woods. It was like you were in a tunnel and stuff like that. It was just fun. It was just fun. So, all right. I am only 20 minutes behind, but we're going to show some comics now. Thank you so much, Maranya, for getting me going here. So here we go. Now, like I said, I'm going to want to show books that that mean something to me. But first, I'm going to show you just some books that I picked up just recently and a couple of digests. This is Blue Ribbon Digest. This is number 16 with Superman. I'm trying to get these digests sewed up, but I've got a long ways to go on those too. Here's another Superman. This is Blue Ribbon Digest, number 25. But this gets me two books closer to the goal. All right. Then we got some modern books. I think this is if I'm not mistaken, this is a facsimile, I think. I don't think they're restarting the story again with Batman. This is 608, and it's the beginning of the Hush storyline, which I really loved. That's probably the last time I really got super invested in Batman was this Hush storyline. I really, really enjoyed it. So, then I picked up Metamorpho number 2. Metamorpho, my guy. Got to pick him up. He's got the Element Girl there with him in this one. Looks like. And then I picked up Justice League Unlimited number 3 because I love my Justice League. So very cool. And then the only other, it was the big book that I picked up this week. I call it a big book, but it was. I'm trying to get these, but these are so expensive now that I only buy them if it's within a certain price range that I can afford and the condition it meets it. But this is Weird War Tales number 6. So I'm trying to pick these up when I can. So cool beans. So that's what I picked up from the comic store this week. So, all right. Let's see. Where do I want to start? I'm just going to start. I'll just grab these. Hold on. Oh, a nice warm hot cocoa. All right. I think you guys have heard me tell the story about my grandmother on my mom's side. I had an uncle. I think it was my Uncle Jack. I'm not exactly sure. It could have been another uncle because they had such a huge family. But anyway, the uncle decided that he didn't want to have his comics anymore. He had collected comics for a while. So he brought several large cardboard boxes over to my uncle's, which is my mother's brother's house, excuse me, apartment, and dropped them off there. And we used to go up and visit every week or so. And so when I got up there one week and there was comics, and I'm like, whoa. And I'm talking a ton of great Silver Age. This was probably somewhere around probably 69 that this happened. 69, maybe 70. So there was a lot of Silver Age books, and they were in great shape. And it was like, my grandmother says, do you want to take some home? Why, yes, I do. And she said, well, nobody there really was into comics. They read them, but they weren't into them. They were just taking up space for them, So she said, yeah, take as many as you want. I think I went home with 3 paper grocery bags full of comics that day. And then it was like, okay, that's cool. Some great books that I got in there. It introduced me to a lot of heroes that I hadn't seen and stuff like that. But it was like, okay, can we go back and visit? It was like we just got home and I go, can we go back and visit her again right now? And we didn't get to go for like 2 weeks. And by the time we got back, they had thrown the rest of them out. I went running down there. They lived on the 3rd floor of an apartment building. I was running down out to the street to where the garbage cans were and everything like that. And I'm looking, just praying that maybe they brought them out there and they're still there. No luck. No such luck. And when I went back in, there was only 1 book left. And I don't know if I have that book to show or not. I don't think I could find it. Because I think I had it out once before and I forgot to put it back in. So anyway, but I remember, this is one that I really remember seeing, and it is the Atom number 25. That great green cover with the go-go checks smacking the Tiny Titan. So this right here is like, this is got a special place in the collection, just because I remember seeing this in the box. It was like one of the first ones I pulled out when I was looking at them, and I'm pulling them out and saying, what is this? And it's like, this was one of the first ones. So it's just like, awesome stuff. And this one right here, this is my very first Aquaman book. If I remember correctly, I traded a kid in, I want to say it was like 5th grade. I traded, what did I trade? It was like Super Ball. I think it was one of those clear Super Balls. And something else. I can't remember what the other thing was, but it was something, just a little toy type of thing, like an Army Man or something like that, and traded him for this comic. This is not the exact one. That one I read to death, but I had to get another copy. And this is Aquaman 30, the death. Of Aquaman. But this was my introduction to Aquaman. And again, there's Metamorpho and, members of the Justice League, So this was cool. Again, go checks. Go-Go checks would be, you know what Go-Go checks means to me. And this one here, this was my first introduction to the Metal Men. My uncle on my dad's side, he had a small stack of comics that he used to have in the kitchen on this little chair. It was just kind of off to the side of the kitchen. And when I go up, I grab a comic and read it. And I remember this one. It was Metal Men number 14, another green cover with chemo, however you say it. So again, when I see this one, takes me right back to going up to my grandmother's house. They lived about 100 feet, 100, maybe 200 feet beside us or in front of us. My folks lived like 400 feet off the main road. And then they lived in front of us right with their driveway right off the main road. So the house is still there. So this one here is another, you're going to hear me say this and you're going to get sick of it, but this is just another special book that I remember getting. Next town over from where I lived as a kid, they used to have, well, I'm sure all you guys and gals, you all know, you had little neighborhood variety stores. And some of them would sell ice cream, have ice cream soda fountains and stuff like that. And this one was McKay's. I believe it was McKay's variety. It was either McKay's, because there was two of them in the town. One was McKay's and one was BJ's. So I can't remember for sure if it might have been BJ's. Anyway. And I still go by that store when I go to pick up pizza at a certain place that we go to. And I go by it and every time I look, it's like, man, I wish that was still there, because they used to make the greatest milkshakes ever. Anyway, I went one day, I was with my dad and he stopped there for something. I don't know what he stopped there for, but, I begged him to buy this book and he did, and also got a milkshake out of the deal too. And this is Submariner number 3, and I asked for it because I love Triton, man. I love that character. I just love the look. I just always thought it was a cool looking character, so when I saw him on this, it was like, Dad, please, and sure enough, he coughed up the 12 cents. So this book, this one, especially right now with all my dad's going through and everything, means a lot, man. All right. So let's see here. What else we got? All right. We got some Fantastic Fours. How about that? This right here is one of the first annuals that I remember seeing. But it wasn't in the store. It was like where was that? I think it was one of my cousin's house. But it had all these superheroes on it, and I'm like, where'd you get that? It's Fantastic Four, number 3, king size annual. And I mean, just look at the guest stars. Look at everybody. And I remember being so, that's so cool. It's got heroes and villains. It's got everybody. You got the X-Men, who were, at that time, they were kind of like, they were like outlaws or something, type of thing, They were heroes, but the world didn't see them as heroes and kind of stuff like that. So when I see that one, that one's kind of special as well. These are all special. Now, this one here is special in a different way. It's special because my guy is the Hulk, and I remember reading this story in reprint, and I never ever thought I would own the book, and I was so thrilled when I was able to get this book. You know, it's just, and I just love the Hulk, and the Hulk biggest rival at the time was the Thing. You know, so, and I couldn't find my number 12. I know I took that out, so it's probably in the rack here. So, but that's why that one was special. And then same thing with, well, this one here, this one here. I told you about the books I got from my grandmother, right? Well, I must have did something wrong. You know, I must have been bad or something, because my folks took my comics away. You know, and they hid them on me. Because, you know, as a punishment for whatever stupidity I did, you know, and I was like, oh man, I was afraid they threw them out, you know. So I was like hunting when they weren't around. I was hunting, found them downstairs. They were hidden downstairs in a corner with blankets over them and stuff like that. But this one is one from that book, that series of books that I got from my grandmother. And this was the book that I saw when it was down there. It was just kind of sticking up about like this much out of the box, you know. So it was like, oh. So this book here is kind of like, it's got good memories and a little bit of bad. But I found it, so I'm sticking with the good, you know. So, and I just slowly would start bringing, you know, I bring up 5 or 6 of them, you know, put them in my closet. So, I mean, that was, but I love that cover. It's just a great cover, and it holds a special time in my life. And then these ones here, I mean, this is probably special to a lot of people. It's special because I really enjoyed the story when I finally got to read it. And that is, you know, number 48, The Coming of Galactus. I mean, Galactus was such a great villain. And of course, along with Galactus comes the Silver Surfer, which I always was fascinated by the Silver Surfer, especially in his own series, when he got his own series, because he was like looking at the way we lived from a kind of like a neutral position, but didn't understand things and question things and stuff like that. And as a kid, when you're reading that stuff, it's like, yeah, I wonder how come that does happen. You know, I wonder how come people do that, you know, type of thing. So it was pretty cool. And there's the third part of the trilogy, number 50. So, I mean, these are important, and you know, I really enjoy this trilogy. So, I mean, of course, but that's the comic book collector in me that's enjoying them. It's not as much of a personal, you know, nostalgic moment. Here we go with some you knew I had to show some Hulks, right? You knew that was going to happen. So here is Hulk 118. This is one of the earliest Hulks that I can remember. I know I had some earlier than this because I had gotten some at 12 cents. But this is one that I remember. It was like, boom, blew my mind. It's like, oh, they're going to go at it. These two, you know, Titanic superheroes are going to go at it. And I wanted to read this story. And I remember we were down there. It was dark out. So it was probably 7 o'clock or something like that. We're down to the Rexall drugstore downtown Rollins, and I remember my folks let me get this book, and I was sitting in the back seat trying to read this book by the streetlights as we passed them. And it'd be like, oh, here's another street light. Oh, that's cool. And I remember doing that in the back seat of that car, trying to read this comic book by the street lights as we went down the road on the way home. And this is the Incredible Hulk number 118. So, like I said, it's one of the first Hulks that I can remember having and reading. And then this one here is the reason that I am such a fan of the Absorbing Man. I remember getting this book, and I was fascinated by the character. Just imagine if you could touch something and absorb the elements or absorb the texture or whatever, whether it's rock or wood or anything like that. It fascinated me for some reason, and this is 125, and they're fighting in outer space. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, something happens to him, to the Absorbing Man, and the next time he appears is in Thor, and he talks about, it's one of those situations where he talk about, they put up the little asterisk, this happened back in issue 125 of Incredible Hulk, true believer, and then it's like, oh, I want to read that story about him, type of thing, So this was the first time that I had the connection where I could go, I've got that book. I can read that, and go back and piece it together. Okay, here he is, falling to earth or whatever, and then they tell the story about how he came back and stuff. So I mean, that's the connection for this one. I just love the character, and it was the first time that I could look at one of those, this happened in blah blah blah, and I could actually go, yes, I've got that book. Yeah. Oh, awesome. I can read that story. So, all righty. So, let's see. All right. And these ones, I'm going to save those for last. All right. So, let's reach into the bag here and pull out some more. I know I'm talking too much. I shouldn't be talking so much. Anyway, you guys know of both Shannon and I's love of 100-page super spectaculars from the Bronze Age from DC. So they really hold a special place for me. You've heard me tell it a million times, so I'm not gonna make you sit through it again. I used to go ride with my grandfather. He used to go every day to the local convenience store, stop and go, and pick up a newspaper for him and one for my dad. And I would go with him once in a while when I had some spending change to buy comics. They had an old-fashioned spinner rack just like this one, with the same top, the same, it says wholesome comics, entertainment, same thing. So to me, in my mind, in my world, this came from the stop and go store. So that's what I'm going with. Anyway, this is one of the first super spectaculars that I remember seeing and having. It's Brave and the Bold, numbers of 112. Batman and Mr. Miracle, who was still kind of an enigma of a character for me. So it was fascinating to see him. But just look at the other. You got the Silent Knight. You got Batman and Green Lantern going off against a Time Commander, I believe. And you got what was that? That was I believe that's the second up here, Aquaman and Hawkman. from Brave and the Bold. I believe it was 51. Was they were like the second team up issue. So, and like I said, this one is very special to me. So I got to do my brother proud and and show. Yep, 2 copies. Oh, wait. There we go. This is my off the rack copy. This is the one I bought off that spinner rack, man. I still have it. I still have a lot of those early Bronze Age ones of that. As you can see, it saw better days. But yeah. But it was just great. You get these and it was like, yeah, okay, it's a 100 pages, but when you're a kid and you're used to the thinner comic books, you get this and it's like you're pulling out what would be an omnibus today. It was just like, oh, there's so much in this. Oh, it was just great. Oh man, this really was beat up, but that's my off the rack copy right there. So, and I've got a lot of my off the rack copies in this group. What else we got in here? We got some more Brave and the Bolds. And here we go with number 113 with the Metal Men. And these are all, this is my off the rack copy. Bought at that same store, Stop and Go convenience store. The actual store, Stop and Go, is no longer there. It became a franchise store called Cumberland Farms. There's a lot of them up here in New England, but the building is still there technically. I still frequent that building, get pizzas from there. I know you find that hard to believe that I would eat a pizza, but here's here we go with number 114, Batman and Aquaman. This is a very nice copy. This is not my off the rack copy. However, this one is. Yep. Read the cover right off it, So it's just. So I mean, these are just so special and meaningful, full of great memories. Here we go. Here is 115 with the Atom. I remember this one really well because I remember thinking, because I liked those characters, those second fiddle characters: Atom, Hawkman, Green Lantern, Metamorpho. You've heard me tell, both Shannon and I have talked about it before. So whenever I got to see like Batman and the Atom, that was cool because the Atom no longer had a book at this point, So this was the only place you could find him, is when he would guest star in somebody else's book or be a backup feature in like Action or World's Finest, Here is my off the rack copy right here. You can see it's got some chipping and scuffed up and, well loved, as we like to say. So, and then another one of my favorite characters teaming up with Batman. Which one is, I think this is my off the rack. It's not too bad. I'm starting to learn how to take care of things, but it's got a couple rips and tears in the cover, but so I had to pick up a new one. So, but I mean, they just hold special memory. It's a special time in my life. I can remember what was going on. This one here is the only one I did not get off the rack. I didn't get this until much later in the 80s. I just never saw it. And it's number 117 with Sergeant Rock. So this one here I did not get until much later. But it's still special. Those 100 pages, man, they're still special. Continuing the, let's see, the Brave and the Bold theme. I remember going with my dad and mom one night, and near as they can remember, that the place that we went to was like a grocery store, but it also had like a takeout, like a food takeout thing. It was a small neighborhood grocery store. Anyway, I can remember going up and not being able to see over the counter, right, where you check out and stuff. But beside it, they had one of those slanted metal comic book racks, which would be cool to get. And I remember seeing this, and I remember thinking, oh, it's cool. It's got the Atom again. Actually, it's got the Atom. This came before that. This is Brave and the Bold 77. And this book, I remember. It's funny what sticks with you, man. Because I can remember walking up the wooden floors, walked up the steps, and go inside, and at the register, they had that thing. And I remember they had other comics. I don't remember any of the other comics, but I remember this one. I remember this. This was just cool. Love the Atom. This right here is the one, I believe, that started my love of Neil Adams. Brave and the Bold, number 75, Batman and the Spectre. It's either this one or I can't remember the other one, 72. I can't remember. I get him confused, get him fuzzy. But this was just such a departure for what I was used to as far as comics art goes. It was just different, and it just looked cooler. I don't know how you quantify cooler, but to me, it just looked cooler. So, and then Brave and the Bold. I wanted to show this because this really helped. I use this as a tool. I'm just trying to see which one is my off the rack, because they both look good. Anyway, Batman 150, right? With the mystery guest star. Let's see, which one is it? I wish I could see. Give me some kind of hint. All right. Well, I'm going to open up this one because I want to show you why. Well, I'll know immediately. If I could find the page I was looking for. Come on. Come on. Really? There we go. Nope, this is not my original. Okay. So I'm going to put that over there for right now, and I want to open up this one here. It should be my original. Either that or I've got 3 copies. This one looks like it. Yeah, this is the original. Yeah, baby. Why is it the original? Because in the back, they did a thing where they listed all the team ups. Right? Now you can see I circled in pen as I got them when I was collecting them throughout the 80s. I would circle them as I got them. This was like a major thing for me, finding these and circling these. You can see all my marks. Yeah, I totally destroyed this poor book with the ink marks. But man, at the time, it was just like, oh, I can't believe I've got, because we didn't have the internet. I didn't have a resource other than Overstreet, But even then, Overstreet probably, I don't imagine, listed every single team up. This listed every single team up, you know. So it was just like, oh, look at that. So, yeah. Anyway, so I thought you'd get a kick out of that. That was a real big deal for me. So that's why these are important to me. And the last one in this round that I'll show, and we'll check out the Peanut Gallery, is Justice League of America 110. Another super spectacular. And I remember seeing this at that same stop and go. And I'm thinking, somebody killed Santa Claus? Who would kill Santa Claus? You know, I just remember it boggling my mind. You know, what? I got to know who killed Santa Claus. I got to know. So, so yeah, this is part of that special series. So, all righty. So let's go back to it. See what you guys are saying in the Peanut Gallery. I want to hear from you guys. Where is it? Where is it? I know she got that line for me. Where somehow I lost the line. There we go. I know it's keep coming. Keep coming. There we go. Thank you so much, Maranya. And let's see what folks are saying. Michael Taylor says, for days it's been in the teens with the wind chill even colder. Yeah, that's what we experienced through the mid part of this week down to like Thursday. Same thing, Michael. Just makes it tough, man, to want to get up and go outside. Double A says the very first comic I bought from the rack was Mystery in Space. It had Star Rovers. Remember, Rod? Star Rovers. I didn't know them till a lot, well after they had already been published. But I do know of the Star Rovers. Yes, sir, Bob. Cool beans. That is awesome. I love to hear it. Love to hear those stories, man. Scotty says, was the skunk named Pepe Le Pew? It might have been. It might have been, because he sure seemed like he had a hypnotic spell over Portia, you know? So you could be onto something, Scotty. Under the Cowl of MS says, my first completed bigger run of comics was Elvira, which had made me so happy over the years with video and comics and, of course, comedic puns. There you go. Yes. Does she still do anything? I know her time of year is obviously Halloween and stuff, but she used to have like be like a horror hostess and do videos of different horror movies and stuff like that. Does she still do anything like that? I'm just curious, because she's got to be getting up there in age. Gray Man says, was the skunk Pepe Le Pew? Had there been a paint accident? I don't know, but I just remember seeing them. They come out from underneath. We used to have what's called the summer house, and all it was just a little, probably 8x10 screened in air room that was built separate, and we'd sit out there in the summertime, you know. It's all screened in. We'd sit out there in the summertime, play records and stuff like that, you know. And they didn't have a foundation or anything. It was just set on the ground on cement blocks. So there was a space underneath. And I remember her, Portia, and this skunk coming right out, just like it was just like, hey, what's happening? Where you want to go now? Let's go down, take a walk down the woods, see what the squirrels are doing, you know. So Double A says, yes, he had a French accent. RDV says, I'll be back later finishing my breakfast, which includes leftover pizza. There you go. And going to watch this week's episode of AEW Dynamite. Great opening segment with Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega. And then eventually Don Callis and his crew show up. But it's crazy what goes on. It's crazy. So I think you'll like it, RDV. Michael Taylor says, Rod, I'm not familiar with J.A. Arms. Sounds cool. Yeah, I had forgotten all about him until Jeff sent me that thing. And I'm like, as soon as I saw the name, I'm like, oh my gosh, I remember that guy. He was a real life guy, you know? He was a real detective, private eye kind of guy. And I remember him on the talk shows and being fascinated by him. And he's got a toy, you know? I remember thinking that was so cool. So, yeah, absolutely. Now I want to go hunt down one of them JJ Arms toys, see if they selling any on eBay or something, you know? Just another rabbit hole. No, I don't need another rabbit hole. Eric Green, the professor, he says, thank you for the plug, my friend, friend. You are very welcome, and hopefully everything works out for Eglantine. I know they're having a rough go of it right now. So hopefully in some small way, this will help bring some more eyes and some money to help them out a little bit. So absolutely, Eric, anytime, man, anytime. Double A says, while you're at it, about the Sea Devils, the most bizarre was when they fought a space alien, which was composed of entirely of water. I wonder if it's in the stack that I have here. Let's see. Oh, geez, I pulled that out. I didn't have something to hold it. There we go. All right. Please stay put. Please. Okay. All right. We got 24. I'll just show a couple. There's number 24, Sea Devils. Number 25, Alligator Man. They were kind of like the underwater challengers of the unknowns, right? I mean, that's what I always considered them. The underwater challengers of the unknown. Number 26. I think they actually even had a crossover at one point with the challengers of the unknown. 27. Grow. That's pretty gross. And let's see, number 28. Go checks, baby. All right. I'll show some more in a little bit, but I want to get back to what you guys are saying. So let's see here. Scotty says, I'm back. What did I miss? I had to eat breakfast for that. You didn't miss much, just me bumping my gums. I did show a few comics, some of my off the rack stuff means something to me. So you'll have to go back and check the rewind. Scott says for his dad, yeah. Maranya says, I looked up JJ Arms after seeing a video about weird old toys, and Rod is spot on. He was a private eye and died. Oh, really? He died this past September. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh man, that's too bad. But yeah, it was such a cool, unique situation. You know, here he is. He's basically a real life action figure type of thing, you know? So that was pretty doggone cool. So Jeff always comes up. Comic Curator 68 always sends me great stuff, little clips or articles or pictures of toys and stuff like that. So always cool. Michael Taylor says, I told Eglantine I hope to take part in some of his auctions when I'm financially able. I also have to update my PayPal first. There you go. Well, appreciate anytime you can help him out. I'm sure it's greatly appreciated, Michael. So, and we understand, everybody understands, times are still tight right now. You know, hopefully things will get better for us. We'll see, you know. But right now, yeah, things are still tight for people. So, but hopefully things can work out for them. You know, people get some eyeballs on those comics, and you know, like I said, he has some really good comics, man. I mean, really good. The only reason I haven't bought any is because most of the really good ones that I would buy, I've got. So unfortunately, but I pop in on that. I don't say anything in the chat usually, but I'll pop in and watch his auctions when he's on, and he has a lot of tremendous good books, man. Sometimes I go, wow, if I didn't already have that book, man, that's a great deal for that book. You know, it really is. He calls it an affordable auction. It really is. It truly is. So again, if you can, definitely check out Eglantine auction tonight, the affordable auction at 8 p.m. Eastern time on the I Love Comics channel, his channel. So under the Kyle of MS, it says, do we have a link for Eric's auction or a site? I missed if you said it. I'm sure Maranya probably has it. And yeah, hold on. It's coming right up. Scotty Z says, I've been looking for catnip. I figured if I sprinkled catnip everywhere, they'd be too high to be enemies. Our cats love catnip, boy. Oh, it gives them what we call the zoomies. All of a sudden, you know, they'll lay down and do that. But then all of a sudden you'll hear them racing up and down the hallway or up and down the stairs. And it's just like, holy mackerel, where'd you get this energy, cat? There we go. Maranya's got the address right there for everybody. Eglantine, I Love Comics, tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So you've got plenty of places today to get great comics at a great deal. You got at 2 o'clock or 1 o'clock, I'm not sure which, and I apologize, Aaron, if you show up, please tell us when. I know it's 10 o'clock Pacific time, so what do you add 4 hours, I think, so it'd be 2 o'clock. Psychotronic Aaron is going to fill in for the claim sale for Triple C, who has technical difficulties right now and won't be able to do his usual claim sale. So you can get great deal on comics there. And then tonight it's like a double header. Remember going to a double header and you pay one admission and get into the ball game and see 2 games? That's what it felt like. That's what it feels like. Today, you got a great doubleheader going on. You got comic auctions in the afternoon. You got comic auctions this evening. And, I mean, you can't go wrong. You're going to find great stuff there. So definitely check them out. Check them both out. So, plus you're helping out a great cause, helping out Eglantine as well. So please, if you can, please help. Eric Breen, the professor, he says, great thing about comics as a kid was there was nothing you couldn't imagine. Yes, absolutely. Well, except for the Red Sox winning the World Series. Ouch. Ow, man. Ow. But I can't dispute the point because that's so true. It's so true. Especially after 75. Man, 75 was a heartbreaker. 78 was a heartbreaker. 86, I don't even want to talk about 86. 86 was a Twilight Zone episode gone bad. August Aesthetic says, to answer the survey, my favorite Marvel would be X-Men, and my favorite DC would be Doom Patrol. Oh, cool. Because Doom Patrol's powers made them freaks, if you know what I mean. Absolutely. I love Doom Patrol. Love Doom Patrol. I know they did a Doom Patrol TV show. It's just not the version of Doom Patrol that I wanted to see. You know, not that I have anything against that show, because I watched it and it was entertaining, but I wanted a more serious one, more in tune with the 60s version of Doom Patrol, because I really loved them. I really like Robot Man, Negative Man. I mean, Negative Man. It was just cool. I always wanted, when I first got into the internet, and I figured out how to make things and stuff like that in the 90s, late 90s. I doctored up my own TV guide, vintage TV guide listings. And I did Saturday mornings, and the cartoons that I would have on. I still have copies of them somewhere. I'll have to dig those out and maybe share them with you guys if you guys are interested at all. But I had cartoons like the Doom Patrol. I had like the Charlton Action Hour, where the Charlton heroes would be in there, and it would be like a rotating thing, like the Superman Aquaman Hour, that type of thing. Oh, I had just things I would want to see. I've even done some short little commercial things for WSAN TV, the fictional TV channel that we're broadcasting from here, like Dead Man or the Spectre shows coming on, live action, coming on. I still got videos. I haven't showed you guys maybe 25% of what I created over the last 3 years with videos and stuff like that. I'm just trying to find the right venue to do them. We don't really have the time to do them here, but I'm trying to get back to making videos again, or maybe doing a second live stream in the weekend, showing some hauls and just showing stuff that I have, just showing stuff that I have, not just comics, but toys, show some cartoons, show some oddball things that I have, like 16 millimeter reels of Hanna-Barbera cartoons, or, a piece of bubble gum, Justice League bubble gum from 1968, something like that, so it's actually, I think it's closer to 70. But I'm hoping to do that. Hopefully, people would be interested in it. So we'll see. So I got you, Double A. Missing Mars, Double M's. He says, I have a stack of those Archie Digest books recently acquired. So awesome. There you go. I myself never really got into Archie. Number one, they weren't really prevalent around where I was. It was pretty much just Marvel and DC, except if you went to a few department stores. One department store had Charlton Comics, and the grocery store had Gold Keys, I remember. But that was really about it. You'd have to travel to like a big city, to a bookstore or something in the big city before you got to see any of those other ones, Archie's or any of that. So I think I've got maybe 3 Archie books in my collection, I think. And those have to do, well, no, I have the Archie superhero stuff. Jaguar and Fly, Mighty Crusaders, Mighty Comics Presents, that kind of stuff. Because I was into the superhero stuff. But I only have a couple of the Archie ones, and they typically have something to do with the MLJ superheroes. So very cool, though. Very cool. Because those digests, I used to remember seeing them. They were always at the checkout counter there, with the TV guides and stuff. So very cool. Double A says, in other words, the Doom Patrol was not superheroes, but instead super freaks. This is super freak. They're super freaky. Therefore, innovative. Yes. And weren't they supposedly, I don't know. We don't know. The influence for the X-Men, Marvel's X-Men? We don't know. Michael Taylor says, very cool, Adam, number 25. Yes, thank you so much, Michael. Yeah, that's just a cool one. The Double M says, thumbs up for the videos, kidding. Well, thank you so much, Double M. I appreciate that, man. We're just miss Shannon, man. Miss Shannon. Michael Taylor says, Super Balls were great. Yeah. They were huge. I mean, remember you used to get them, you could get them in cereal and stuff like that. They were like prizes in cereal. And it was something new and different. And we would go out and we'd take them things and we chuck them into the tar and see how high they would go, because you kids, you think you're living dangerously by doing something like that, I guess. I don't know, but it was just cool. It was just a cool time to be a kid. There was so much being so much new stuff being created, toys and stuff like that at that time. Um, and it just, like Eric Breen said earlier, it just opened up your imagination. It was just great. That was our biggest tool that we used as kids, was our imagination. You could be anything. We'd be out in the woods. We could be in the Old West, or we could be in World War II, or we could be in Lost in Space, on a planet looking for the Great Vegetable Rebellion, And if any of you get that, you get special points. Mike Dill says, very cool, Aquaman 30. Thank you, Michael. Yeah, that was I remember that one, man. These are all special. Diabetic Superman says, thanks for the reminder, Missing Mars. Cool beans. Scotty says, Metalman with Tina on the cover quitting, storming out was my first Metalman. Yeah, that was later on in the thing. Was that the second? Was that their comeback? It was still kept the same numbering. I want to say that was the second one, because didn't Green Lantern appear in that one too? I'm not sure. I could be thinking of a later issue that maybe has nothing to do with the one you're mentioning. Double A says, good Adam issue, Rod. Along similar lines, do you have any Doll Man? The only Doll Man I have right here. I have to be careful because, man, sometimes I'll move something and then that whole display behind me will just kind of implode on itself. This one here I picked up. This is from Super Comics, and they did a handful of these, and I don't know if they're reprints or not. Somebody out there with more knowledge than me, which wouldn't take much, would probably know. This is Doll Man, and this is number 15 by Super Comics. But that's the only one I have. I don't have any. I don't have hardly any golden age comics or anything like that. But I am trying to pick these up when I see them. You don't see them too often. But that was pretty cool. So there you go. And Michael Taylor says, Rod, we did a Metalman cover ranking not too long ago. Oh, really? Cool beans. I wish I'd seen that one. I didn't see that. Yeah, because I love the Metalmen. That was, again, they're one of those second, third tier bananas that I gravitated to. I was not a real big, other than the mid to late 60s, I was a Batman fan because of the TV show. And I wish I had a dime for every construction paper utility belt that I made, because I would be sitting pretty right now. So, but oh, that's cool. I'll have to go look that episode up. Cool beans. Thank you for that, Michael. He says, I very vaguely remember my variety store. Yeah, we had them everywhere. We had one that was 1,000 feet up the road from us, Terrian's Market, and we used to go up there and get Humpty Dumpty barbecued potato chips. They still make them today. I've got 2 bags of them up in my kitchen right now. The best for me, the best barbecue flavored. It's not mesquite flavored barbecue. It's just the old-fashioned barbecued, really spicy. I love those things. So very cool. And we used to get popsicles and rock candy. Remember rock candy used to be on a string, and it looked like crystals, like diamonds on a string, and you gnaw on them as a kid. Gray Man says, if Cake for Cannibal Robot wasn't the winner, you need to think again, Michael. Double A says, about Metal Men, wasn't there a Metal Man who used to stutter all the time? I vaguely recall. Yeah, Tin used to stutter. Yeah. And then he finally got a girlfriend by the name of Nameless. I don't know if they ever did. I think they were running a contest at one point to try and name her. And I don't know if they ever, I can't remember if they ever gave her a name, but for a long time she was known as Nameless. So she was like the female Tin. Gray Man says, Tin, there you go. There you go. You got it. Michael Taylor says, very cool, Submariner 3. Yeah, that's one of those ones that really sticks out now, especially more and more, like I said, with my dad. That is one of those really, really heartfelt memories of me and my dad. Because my parents, they grew up in an era where he's 17 and he's still collecting comic books. What's wrong with him? You know, they were used to comic books going by the wayside after 10 years old. You know, and here I am. I'm stockpiling them in my bedroom closet. You know, so when he would buy, I remember a lot of times when he would buy me one. And stuff like that. My grandfather was the same way. My grandfather, I'd go up and see him. I'm 30 years old and whatever, and go up and visit him. And my grandmother, and he'd go, "You still buying them funny books?" I said, "Yeah." You know, he used to give me grief about it, but you know what? One day he called me and he said, "Hey, you still getting comic books, funny books?" Yeah. He goes, why don't you come up and go with me? There's a lady on the Swap Shop, which was a radio program where people would put things on they wanted to sell and leave a phone number. And then you call the station, get the phone number, and you could call them up. And, you know, they wanted to sell you if they were selling a snow blower or a saw or a car or something like that. Lady was selling comic books a couple towns over. And so he made it a point to let me know and then drive me there. The comics were 25 cents a piece, and she had a lot of DCs from the early Bronze Age. And I mean, so it's like, yeah, Grandpa was cool. Scotty says, Tin, yep. Maranya says, yes, Tin, we read The Brave and the Bold with Batman and the Metalman last night on the Geeky Puppet Show. Oh, wow. I'll have to go watch that too. I bet that was fun. Double A says, oh yeah, Tin, thanks. There you go. Scotty says, I only recently learned about Nameless. I only had the last few Metalmen from the 70s when I was a kid. Okay. Yeah, I gotcha. Eric K. Hey, Eric, how you doing? He says, hey, everyone, Justice League of America number 133 was the first comic I ever bought as a kid. To this day, it is one of my favorite comic books. That's awesome. Awesome. Do you remember where you bought it and what the circumstances were? Or like, did you go with your dad or your mom or grandparents or something? Do you remember the details around it? Just great memories, man. Great memories. Thanks for sharing that. Tempest from Mars says DC really went to town on those digest, Doc. There are over 100 of them across 4 different series. Yeah, I still need about 20 for all of them. Yeah, I'm with you, Tempest. I really I'd love to make a dent in a serious dent in them, but you don't come across them too often. They just happen to pop up at my LCS, and I snagged them as soon as I saw them. I can go on eBay, but a lot of times eBay, you want a little more money than that. Plus, you got to pay for shipping. So if you can find them at a comic store or a antique store or something like that, you know, I try to take advantage of that. But some of them, like those the early Jonah Hex ones, the first 3 that had Jonah Hex, those are heavily on my radar, man. I am really trying to make a push to find those. So hopefully I will someday. Mike Till says, Gray Man, I don't get it. And Eric K says, and Defenders 10 holds a special place in my heart. It was the first comic book I remember looking at, thanks to my brother who bought it, 10, Defenders 10. Was that part of the Avengers Defenders War? I can't remember. Oh, that's cool though. Defenders was the first series that I can remember buying from start to finish. That was the first one that I can remember. Like, I was there at the beginning. I was there at number one, and do that. I couldn't do that with Cap. I couldn't do that with Hulk. I couldn't do that with Justice League, Brave and the Bold, because they were already established well into their numbering. So I never got to. But Defenders was the first one, man, and I really loved those early Defenders. Like the first 50 books were really, really cool. They got a little weird out there, and some of the characters were not my favorite, like Gargoyle. I really didn't care for that character, not for any particular reason. It's just like I just found him boring, But I mean, it had Hulk, so I was there. Hulk, Silver Surfer. That dynamic alone was very interesting to me, so I wanted to be there to see what was going to happen. So absolutely, very cool, Eric. He says, I was fascinated by the fact that Hulk and Thor will fight. There we go. Okay. If I'd have just looked one more comment ahead, I'd have seen, yeah, that's part of the Avengers Defenders War. Yes. Because that's a huge right there. That's a huge right there. And stick around. If you like Hulk and Thor, stick around. It's 7 minutes to 12, and I'll probably be on till about 12:30. So I got more books to show. And Hulk and Thor going to be there. Maranya says, good morning, Eric. How are you, Ozzy, Harry, and Annalie, and Martin doing? And Eric says, hi, Maranya. My kids are doing well. Thank you very much for asking, he says. Cool beans. Glad to hear they're doing well. Michael Taylor says, I remember seeing a lot of those FFs at a comic store I would go to in the early 80s. Cool beans. I remember at one point there was a hardware store that we didn't go to. I was going to say used to go to, but I only went there once that I can remember. I don't know if my parents did, but when you're a kid and you love comics, you can smell them out. You got like a sixth sense, and sure enough, I had to go to a hardware store. There's nothing in a hardware store I care about, but I knew there was something there. Sure enough, I went to the back of the store, and on one of the end caps, they had just a bin, a metal bin, and they had comics that had the title ripped off, so they were supposed to have been returned, but they would put 3 in a bag and sell them for like $1. And I remember picking up a bag of them there. I want to say there was a Daredevil. It might have been a Submariner too. I think it was a Daredevil and a Submariner. I can't remember the third one, but it's just one of those things. It's like, oh, there it is. Have you guys ever experienced that? You walk into a store and you just know there's something in here for me, and it probably is a comic book. It's here for me. I went to a place called Paul's Used Furniture. It's a used furniture place. It's no longer around, but at the time it was a used furniture place. Had a little bit of antiques in the windows, stuff like that. Just stopped in there on a whim one day, and sure enough, I got in there and it was just like, oh, there's something here for me. And I still have the books I bought there. I know one of them I picked up was the Justice League with the Shaggy Man, the first Shaggy Man. I don't have that one anymore, that particular book. I do have a copy of it. But I bought a Flash giant size one. It was a blue cover, and he's juggling things. And I picked that one up, and I still have that one in my collection, in my Flash collection, and it's just, you had to go sideways down the aisles because there was so much stuff, I mean, did you guys ever experience that like comic book sixth sense, that there's comics here, somewhere, and I'm going to find them? Mike Taylor says, Rod, you may want to watch the next cover ranking. It will be, yes. When is it, Michael? When is it? Or Eric, somebody let me know when the cover ranking for the Hulk is, because I want to take part. I want to take part in that. Cool beans. Eric K says, I also have great affection for Justice League 139 to 157. That was when they went double size. Okay, I remember that. My favorite comic title, Giant Size. Oh, yeah. Giant Size, those Marvels. More bang for my 60 cents. 145, 149, 150 were my favorites. Oh, cool. Okay, so you weren't okay. I might have misunderstood this line where it says my favorite comic title, Giant Size. Okay, cool beans. I mean, there was just something about giant size books. You felt like you were getting so much more, And as a kid, you were. I mean, they were just great, Oh, just great stuff. Michael Taylor says, fantastic Hulk, number 125. Amazing, Absorbing Man. I love the Absorbing Man. Crusher Creel, baby. I love Crusher Creel. Eric K says, and they bring back great memories as a kid growing up in Illinois. Oh, cool. Good. Gray Man says, I think I absorbed the character of a marshmallow somehow. I may have been accused of that same thing, Gray Man, earlier in my livelihood here, in my life. And Scotty says, I remember when he absorbed water to get away. I think it was in Marvel 2-in-1. That was the Thor. That was the one I was telling you about. Because they put him in a cardboard box. And they put him into a river, and he was able to touch the water because it soaked through the cardboard. Yes, that's what I'm remembering. That's the thing, and I believe it was Thor, and I can't remember what number it was of Thor, but it happened in Thor, and that was the next time he appeared. Was that particular one? It was in Thor though. That I remember. I just don't know the number. Missy Mars says, Rod, you need to have a duplicate claim sale. Well, a lot. Sometimes what I do with my duplicates is I'll put together an AOK, especially if I know people are looking for certain things and stuff like that. I like to do that because I mean, sure, it's great to receive them, but come on, we've all given AOKs to people. How cool is it to see that smile on their face when they open up that book, and you know that they're going to love and appreciate that comic just as much as you do or did, right? Come on, that's the best. That's one of the best feelings in the world. So I hear you, Miss Mars. So absolutely, I got plans. Michael Taylor says, Mars, I don't think Rod would ever do that. I've been trying to, in my database, I have gone through now. I think I got 21,000 books documented in my collection, and I now have gone through that all of those, and I'm up to date with that 21,000. I still got several, well, not several, probably 3,000 or 4,000 more to go through, but I finally got caught up as far as what duplicates I have already. You know, that's not to say there won't be more duplicates when I get to those other thousands to do, but I now have a database in my database, my duplicates. So now if somebody is looking for something, and I can go right to my database and look, and if it's purple, then I know it's a duplicate that I have another copy of, and you know, I love to see that smile, man. I love to see that smile, because I know somebody's going to appreciate it just as much as I did. So, hey there, Shannon, how you doing? I'm waiting. I've been watching. Are you on? You going to be able to say hi? Come in and say hi. He says, seems like I remember 100 pages. Yeah. Do you have a couple? I think you had a couple. I think I saw a video where you had a couple, if I remember correctly. I think I saw that a couple of times. Oh my gosh. I mean, I knew of 100 pages, obviously, because like I showed you and was telling you my memories of them. But I did not know how many there were until I saw Shannon's video on the 100 pages. And if you get a chance and you haven't seen that video, by all means, go and check it out. You just have to hunt back through his video catalog, and you'll find it. But it is a fascinating video. And I did not know. And then on top of that, he gifted me several, I mean, a ton of 100 pages from his personal collection, which I am still thankful to this day. It was tremendous, a wonderful gift, and I really do thank you, buddy. That's just tremendous, and some that I've never seen before and never knew about. You know, I knew the ones that pertain to the series that I bought: Justice League, Brave and the Bold, Action Comics, stuff like that. But I didn't know all of them. I didn't know how many there really were until I saw Shannon's video. Man, he's just a fountain of knowledge. You know, I mean, between him and Eric Breen. Any comic book question you have, I'm sure between the two of them, they would give you an answer for it, because they just drop knowledge like nothing. It's great. I don't have that. So you guys are putting up with me today, unfortunately. So Mike Taylor says hi to Shannon. Maranya says, I'm sure you do, Shannon. Yeah. And Michael says hi to Michael. I mean, Shannon says hi to Michael. Scotty says, does the atom have an Adam's apple? I do not know. I would think so. Yeah. Let's go with that. Michael Taylor says, love to see the off the rack books. Yeah, it's funny because, you know, there was a time when the off the racks didn't mean as much in the collection, but the older I've gotten, with each year that passes, they mean more and more to me. And now they're just, I mean, they're a tether back to my childhood. It's weird to think that, man, I've had those comics since they were on the rack in the early 70s. I mean, that's just mind-blowing to me sometimes when I think about that, and I think about how lucky and blessed I am to have been able to have these books, acquire these books, or have somebody buy them for me, like my grandparents or my mom and dad and stuff on birthdays and stuff like that. I was so lucky, so blessed, man, more than you guys will ever know. So yeah, they mean a ton to me, you know. Scotty Z says, I've never been to Iraq. Why would you want? Why would you want comics off it? Well, you have to be careful too because sometimes it comes with sand in it, you know. Double A says that Brave and the Bold issue wasn't the one where the atom went inside Batman's body when Batman was comatose. I think it was actually. I think it was. Was it inside his body or just inside the the cowl? It's hard because my first thought goes back to the Marvel thing with the Ant-Man goes into the Vision, remember? But I think you are correct, August. Ouch. What was falling? Okay. All right. And Shannon says, that's the one, Double A. There we go. I should have just waited. He's going to have the answers. There you go. Double A says, thanks, Shannon. Yeah, you guys probably already had this conversation 20 minutes ago, so I'm just playing catch up. Easy Comic Reader says, I'm loving the trip down memory lane, Rod. Awesome. Thank you so much, Mike. Appreciate it, man. And Michael Taylor says, Shannon, how's your day going? Diabetic Superman says, how are you feeling, Shannon? Tempest from Mars says that Brave and the Bold is such a bizarre story with Batman bouncing around on Batman's brain. Yeah, didn't it cause? Could it cause some brain damage doing that? You know. And Shannon says, "At work and cold." We know about the cold, brother. He says, "Feeling better, DS. Thank you. Cool beans. Cool beans." Easy Comic Reader says, "Here's some sunny South Texas sunshine, Shannon." How's that for an Easy Comic Reader imitation? I can only do that because my voice is raspy now from all the coughing. So, Michael Taylor says, Shannon, just thinking about buying comics and you'll warm up. Yes, sir. And Shannon says, thanks, Easy. And that might do it, Michael. Laughing out loud. And Jay Lucien. Hey, Jay, how you doing, man? Great to have you with us once again, sir. He says, hello and good morning. And good morning to you, sir. Hope your Saturday's going well. Hope it's warmer than where I'm at. Whopping 10 degrees. So, cool beans. Michael, Scotty says, I had 3x5 cards in my back pocket when I went to flea markets to use for a checklist. I used to have a little flip notebook. And for a while, I still had them. And then I left them in pants pocket and they went through the washing machine. So they are no longer in service. And Miranda says, good morning to Jay. And Mike Taylor says, Rod, fantastic book, especially those Brave and the Bold. Brave and the Bold was one of my favorites. One of my first loves in DC Comics. Justice League, Flash, and Brave and the Bold. She got down the pause line. Just want to get Shannon's other message in here just before I do that. He says, good seeing everyone. Was going to jump on the stream for a couple of minutes, but Rod didn't send me the... Oh! Doggone it. I'm sorry. Oh, man. And I just talked to him last night saying I wanted to know when his lunch thing was. So he would... so when he popped up, I would be able to see him. Doggone it. I'm sorry, Shannon, and I'm sorry, everybody. Doggone it. I'm sorry about the text, too, because I got the thing here, but I still ain't figured out all the things. I'm sorry, brother. Oh, man. Hate it when stupid. I'm sorry, Shannon. What was that? This thing just went off. What is it? No, I don't know. Oh, man. I'm so mad with myself right now. It ain't funny. How do you forget to do that? I'm sorry, Shannon, man. I'm sorry, everybody out there watching. I can't believe I didn't do that. He says, everyone have a great day. Again, I'm sorry, Shannon, man. No excuses. Just being stupid. I'm just being stupid. Miranda says, shame on Rod. Try one more time with the text. Yeah. And now let's, I have to go back to work. I'm sorry, man. Michael Taylor says, you too, Shannon. Michael Taylor says, Rod, those Sea Devil covers weren't in the ranking. Great covers. Oh, thank you, Michael. Appreciate that. Scotty says, asks the question, how do toys die? I don't know. Get thrown in the fire? I don't know. The person, Scotty, says Maranya. Hey, Jason, how you doing? He says, Dr. Silver Age in the house. Cool beans. How you doing, Jason? Hope you're surviving the cold out here. It's a lot colder than I care for it to be. So it's great to have you with us, Jason. I'm just kind of mad with myself right now. So, Scotty says, oh. And Miranda says, hello to Jason. Michael Taylor says, Rod, you had your fill of WS since then. I'm not sure what. I'm sorry, Michael. I'm just kind of off track now here. I can't remember what WS. I'm sorry. Scotty, thanks to the internet, I've met several negative men. Michael Taylor says, Rod, do they have a TV guide mag you can get? They do have a TV guide mag you can get through the mail. It's probably not the same, though. You mean like a regular TV guide? I know they've gone to magazine form. But I only have one or two of those because I try to collect vintage TV guides between the years of like 1960 to 1980. Again, I used to read the TV guide every Wednesday at the grocery store. I'd read it cover to cover, so I would know what was what, when my shows were on and when they weren't. So, show off your laser disc collection. Ouch. Hold on, I got a Charlie horse in my thigh. Show off your laser disc. I don't have any laser discs. I never owned one. Never had a laser disc player. Never even seen a laser disc player. None of my friends had one or anything like that. So I've never had any experiences with laser discs. Mike Taylor says, Rod, I hope you do those second shows. I'm in. Well, thank you, Michael. I appreciate that. Hopefully, I'm trying to put together the ideas for it, and hopefully I can do something. It wouldn't be a long one. Just something to show some of the other stuff other than my comics and stuff like that. So thank you so much. Eric Breen says, big city. Yeah, the big city. Yeah. Wow, that's how old this is. When I quoted the big city, wow, I am so far behind. Jason Nutter, wait, Rod doesn't own Archie or Punisher crossover. No, I don't. Just the I don't see how those two worlds come together, in my mind anyway. But anybody like that's fine. Different strokes for different folks. I was just never an Archie fan. I like the cartoon and I like the music. I love the band. I love Sugar Sugar. That is one of my favorite songs from my childhood. So, but no, I do not own Archie Punisher crossover, Jason. Jason says, hello to Maranya. And Double A says, speaking of your TV guides, Rod, wasn't there one that had a cover showing Green Hornet and Kato? Yeah, I had it. I think it's buried over there. Let me just see real quick. Where are you? Nope, I don't see it. It must be buried further behind than I thought. Double A, because it was right there. I had it on top of the Hulk hands. What is falling over? I got ghosts in here. And it's not there right now. So, but yes, I do. It was actually a replica. It wasn't the original, but it was a replica of one from like 67, I believe, or 68 with Green Hornet and Kato on the cover. Absolutely. Yeah. And it's the only time that I've ever seen TV Guide put out a replica, like a facsimile, So Eric K says, I read that Lamar Hunt from the Kansas City Chiefs and the AFL got the name of the Super Bowl from the Super Bowl. One of his kids had one, and it gave him the idea. Oh, I never heard of that before. That's cool to know. I did not know that. Wow. It's funny how something as simple as that could lead to something that's become such a piece of sports history, Scotty says, yes, GL showed up at the end. Okay. So I was thinking of the right book. Yeah. That was when they made their comeback in the 70s. Yeah. Scotty said, GL showed up to kill the metalman. No, we don't want that. Come on, GL. What's wrong with Hal Jordan? Michael Taylor says, Double A, Rod has a reprint of that Green Hornet TV Guide. Yeah. Yeah. That's what it is. It's a facsimile. Yeah. And Double A says, thanks, Michael. And Tempest from Mars says, not only do I get that reference, Doc, but I have the Carrot action figure. Oh, that's cool. Well, that's awesome, man. I didn't even know they made a Carrot action figure. I remember seeing it. That's a talking carrot. That was just such a wacky episode, Lost in Space. So, but wow. I am so far back from. I must be like a half hour behind in the chat. Oh my gosh! I'm sorry, guys. Just off my game today, I guess. Mike Thiel says you're welcome, Double A. Eric K says regarding buying JLA and 133, I think I bought it from the Schiller Park drugstore in Schiller Park. I may have walked to the store. Oh, cool. Now, is that some place you frequented a lot? Because drugstores were always cool. Whenever I went into a drugstore, it was like, where's the comics? Where are you keeping the comics? Where are you keeping the comics? Come on. Right up into the just about the 80s, I think, before they started disappearing from the drugstores around here. Eric Breen says, I'm down to 2 digests, one of the Jonah Hexes and a funny animal one that I can't find anywhere. Oh, that's all you need is those 2? Wow, that's awesome. That's incredible, man. Congrats, Professor. That is great. I got a long ways to go. I probably will never get to the end of the line, but it's fun to make the journey. Michael Taylor says the only benefit about eBay over comic stores is that you'll find rare books that you won't find at comic stores. Yeah, you are correct, because there are books that are just hard to find, Journey into Mystery, 80. 87, I think. Journey into Mystery 87. Hold on. I'm just checking something. Okay, so let's see. Journey. I'm checking. Journey into Mystery. Yes, 87. Yep. Journey into Mystery 87. That's one I've been trying to find. It's the last one I need to complete my Thor run from 83 on up to through Thor's first volume. So, and the other one is Strange Tales 105 and Strange Tales 110. 110 is not, I'm not seriously looking for that one because, I mean, that's the first appearance of Doctor Strange. That's going to be, unless I win the lottery, that's way out of my price range. But 105, I think, is still obtainable. And that would give me everything but 110 from this when they started the superheroes, which was 100, 101, somewhere in there to the end. And then it became Doctor Strange for a little while. So, but you're right. That's the only place you can find those. Tempest from Mars says that second Jonah Hex one doesn't seem to show up that often, Eric. Is that the one you're missing? And Double A says, my favorite Blue Ribbon Digest has the reprints of the Legion inside the back cover. Paul Levitt's commentating on the issues. I know they finished up Adventure Comics with they did up like the Adventure Comics 500 was a digest and it had Legion and stuff like that. So I do have some of those. Michael Taylor says, Rod, you made the sound of the $6 Million Man Bionic Guy. Oh, you got that. Yeah. Very good. Michael Taylor says, it's Sunday, Rod. Well, it could be, and I wouldn't know the difference sometimes. Michael Taylor says, the Hulk cover ranking. Oh, Sunday. Oh, okay, cool. Thank you for that, because I want to put that on my appointment viewing because I want to see that. I want to take part in that. That would be cool. Scotty says, thank you so much, Michael. Scotty says, the Absorbing Man that I remember was in a fight on the docks of New York City, of New York. Was that from the TV show or are you referring to in the comics? Because I know they did a thing on Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. where they had the Absorbing Man, or so they said. Scotty said, hey, okay, I'm missing the X-Men 135 from 1980 that I had when I was a kid. Hint, hint, wink, wink. Well, I can see if I have a duplicate. If I could, what did happen to my thing? There we go. X-Men 135. All the way down to the end. X-Men. Roly-poly, X-Men. Beat them up, yum. Where is it? It's under Uncanny X-Men. Uncanny X-Men. What was it, 135? Oh, I do not have a duplicate. I don't have any duplicates of any X-Men. Do I? Oh, I have a duplicate. No. Yeah, why is it red? It looks like I have two duplicates, an 18 and an 11. I think. But for some reason, I've got them in red. I don't know why they're red. Usually all my duplicates are in purple. So I don't know why these are in red. That doesn't make sense to me. Now I got to research that. Aaron K says, Rod, I thought maybe it was an issue of the Avengers when Absorbing Man absorbed water to get away. I'm pretty sure it was in Thor. I can't get at that. I'm pretty sure it was in Thor where he was in a They put him in a cardboard box, like a cardboard coffin or something, and put him in a river or something. He somehow got into a river, and that's how he escaped, was turning into water. I'm pretty sure. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong. And you guys are a heck of a lot more knowledgeable in retaining that stuff than I ever was. So I could be all wet, so to speak. Scotty says, I think it was Eric K, because I definitely read Avengers, not so much Thor, if any. So, okay. Yep. I see. Oh, Scotty, Avengers 184 is the issue. Oh, that's later on. I was thinking, no, what I was thinking of took place in like the early 70s. It would have been like Thor around what? 200? I think somewhere in there. So, no. But anyway, so cool beans. August says, speaking of water, I remember there was a TV cartoon featuring a fluid man who could turn into water, but I don't remember the group he was in. He was in The Impossibles, of Frankenstein Jr. and The Impossibles. Hanna-Barbera cartoon, 1967, 68. So, yeah, it's one of my favorites. Oh, I don't have that. Oh, I don't think I have any Impossibles merchandise. Although Japan, there was a Japanese maker that made some ones you can pick up on eBay, but they're expensive. I thought about pulling the trigger on them, but they're just expensive. There was Fluid Man, Coil Man, and Multi Man. So, and there we go. I should just look ahead because everybody got the answer. So, cool beans. Tempest is right on. He's got Fluid Man was a member of the Impossibles. You got it. And Michael Taylor says, Rod. Michael says, hi to Michael. Did I say that? I probably did. I'm just so bummed out about being stupid, not remembering to send Shannon the thing, the link, just sticks in my craw. Be stupid like that, Robert Harrison says, good show, boys and girls. Thanks so much, Robert, for hanging out. I got to go check I saw you put up your movie review for this week. I got to go check that out today. If you get a chance, check out Robert Harrison 2.0. He's always playing music on there. He also shows some comics once in a while. And every week he gives movie reviews of movies that he's seen, which are always enjoyable to hear. So thank you very much, Robert. Appreciate it, man. August says, thank you, Tempest. Tempest from Mars says, I'm sure there was a Harlem Globetrotter cartoon where they had similar powers to the Impossibles as well. Yeah, it was Super Globetrotters or something like that. I remember that vaguely. Maranya says, hey there, Robert. Double A says, the Impossibles had 3 characters, right? Yes, they did. Michael Taylor says, could cause some atom damage. Yeah, when he's jumping around on Batman's brain. Yeah. And Robert says, hi to Maranya. And Michael Taylor says, don't beat yourself up, Robert. Yeah, it shouldn't happen. That should not have happened. That's just, nah. Man. Fries me up because I screwed it up last time. And he was in and I didn't see him, because I was so focused on the other stuff. On the screen you can't see, but if you ever got into the StreamYard, and you have the media assets and stuff, and all that stuff, then I didn't see him. And poor guy sat there for like 5-10 minutes probably, But this time I totally forgot to send him the link. I guess I just figured somehow he was magically going to be able to pop in. I don't know what I was thinking. Just being stupid, man. August says, well, I have to sign off now. Take care, Rod and Lady M. August, thank you so much for hanging out with us, man. I greatly appreciate it. Hope you have a great rest of your weekend and a great week. And hopefully we see you next week, where we'll be back to our normal show. And my brother will be here and keep me in line, smack me around when I'm being stupid. So Maranya says, take care, Double A. Higgy Pop says, no biggie, Rod. We will see Shannon smiley face next week. I know, but it just irks me that I do that. I forget. I joke a lot about my memory and stuff like that, but my memory is not what it used to be, unfortunately. Jason says, be mad at technology, not yourself. I wish I could blame it on technology, but that's not technology's fault, man. That's totally me, just being an idiot. Michael Taylor says, Rod, World Series. Yeah. Oh, okay. World Series. All right. Gotcha. Yep. Easy Comic Reader says, we love you, Hot Rod. Oh, well, I appreciate that, Mike. I appreciate that. Mike Taylor says, Rod, Shannon understands. I know he does, and I know all you guys do. It just frustrates me when I do stuff like that, because it was very important to me to be able to kind of surprise you and have him show up and pop, and then I go and forget the most important piece to the puzzle. It just irks me when I do that. And there's no excuse. There's no excuse. It's just totally spaced it. And when I'm doing the show, I find I have to really focus and concentrate, when I'm doing things, because I want things to go right, and here I'm the biggest reason they don't go right most of the time, so it is what it is, and I apologize, and I can't apologize enough, so you guys are awesome and very kind and giving. I appreciate that from all of you. Eric K says, Rod, stop beating yourself up. Yeah. Jason says, I bought the Archie Punisher crossover because it was so weird. Well, it does seem weird. It was a weird combination. I remember seeing it in previews, and I remember thinking, why is there a hue and cry for Archer and Archie and Punisher crossover? I wasn't aware of that. Michael Taylor says, Eric K, very interesting info. Cool beans. We got such great people here that, I'm telling you, their knowledge, unbelievable, man. I always come away from the show. I've talked to Shannon about it and stuff. Always come away from the show having learned something, So it's great. Maranya says, time for me to head out and catch some sleep. It's already 35 past. So thank you, Maranya. She says, take care, Rod, Shannon, Peanut Gallery, the nuts of the day, the foofs, the studio audience, and Maranya's Legion of Peanut Pets. Stay safe, warm, and hydrated. Thank you so much, Maranya. Thank you again for everything you do for us. And keep me in line as best you can. Sometimes I just tend to color outside the lines, I guess, and forget things. So absolutely. Thank you once again, and hope everything is going well for you folks. And we'll hopefully see you next weekend again. So have a great rest of your weekend and a great week. And Michael Taylor says, Rod, that would be great to see in the chat for the Hulk rankings. Well, I'm gonna try. Yeah, Sunday night. So I'll take a nap before, so I don't fall asleep. I'll take a nap in the afternoon, so I'll be able to stay up for it. So I definitely want to be there. Got to be there for old J Jaws. Got to be there. Robert Harrison. He says, happy trails to you until we meet again. Until next time. Yes, until next time, Bob. Thank you so much, man, for hanging out with us. Appreciate it, man. Take care and stay warm up there to the north. Diabetic Superman. Maybe it happened to Absorbing Man twice. Oh, what I get. I know there was that episode, that issue where he got put in a cardboard box, and that's how he escaped, was dumped into a river or something. But I could have sworn that was the one. But I'm gonna go check it out though afterwards. I'm gonna pull my Thors and find out where that was, what happened, and where I'm screwed up, because I'm sure I screwed it up. So Eric Breen says, Rod, if you could stay awake long enough, you're more than welcome to join us on the panel for Hulk covers tomorrow night. Oh, cool. Well, thank you for that, Eric. I appreciate it. I don't know if I'll be on the panel, but I definitely want to be there to take part in the ranking because I got to be there for old J Jaws. Got to represent. So cool, me. Thank you so much, Eric. I appreciate that, man. And Splash Page Comics. Hey, Splash Page, how you doing? He said, Mr. White Gloves, enjoyed the show. Keep up the good work. Well, thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. We're not at 100% right now. My brother in comics is working, but next week he'll be back, and the show will be 3 times better than this week. So I hope you come back and join us then. So take care. He's waving. I'm waving back. Michael Taylor says, great show as always. Had a blast, Rod. Shannon out there, Peanut Gallery, and have a great weekend and upcoming week. You too, Michael. Thank you so much for hanging out once again, and for all your support throughout the CBM. We appreciate that. I always look forward to seeing you in the Peanut Gallery, my friend. So take care. Have a great rest of your week and weekend. Easy Comic Reader says, take care, everyone. Have a great weekend. He's waving to everybody. Mike, take care again. Thank you so much again for your comic musical stylings. We love them. Crazy Hungarian Joe, he says, great show, Rod. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody. And you as well, Joe. I got to go catch up on your videos as well. It seems like all I do is try and keep catching up on videos. There's so many great videos, content, and community members making videos now. It's awesome. Awesome. So, cool beans, Joe. Take care. Tempest from Mars says, I remember reading that Avengers issue with Absorbing Man in. I also, don't tell anyone I've read some Marvel comics. That's right. You're a DC fanatic, right? And that's nothing wrong with that at all. So have a good one, everybody, he says. And Tempest, thank you so much again for hanging out and spending your afternoon with us, man. We really appreciate it. You take care, man. Eric Breen, the professor, he says, we try to invite superfans to the panel. Joe Carollo joined us for the Legion of Superheroes. Rod and the Hulk, just saying. I'll keep that in mind, my friend. I will keep that in mind. I'll be in touch with you. Now that I'm back in cell phone world, I can keep track and keep in touch with people, except when they text me to hey, send me the link, you dummy. So, but all right. And Scotty Z says Thor 206, 208. I think it's 206. Yeah, I think 206 is the one I'm thinking of. Yeah, I think it's that in those 3. So, because it would be the earliest one. I can picture Gil Kane cover. So, but yeah, cool beans. All right. I think that catches us up, and everybody is getting ready to go enjoy the rest of their weekend. I want to thank everybody for hanging out with us here today. I really appreciate it. You guys could be doing anything, like Shannon always says. You guys could be doing anything else, but you find it fun to hang out with us, and we greatly appreciate it. And hopefully you'll be back, and hopefully everything will go a lot smoother next week when Shannon gets back. I appreciate all the kind words. Eric Breen says, I guess you didn't get my Hulk's text from the other day. I don't think so. No, because I just got this working. What was it? Friday? Yesterday? I think it was yesterday. See, I can't even remember what day, but yeah, it was crazy. So, and this is so weird, different than I'm used to. The way it looks, the printing on it is so small. The font on it is so small, man. I can barely read it. So, but thank you, Eric. I appreciate that, my friend. Enjoy the rest of your weekend and have a great rest of your week. Hopefully, I'll see you tomorrow night, and we'll do some ranking of some Jade Jaws and see what's going on there. So, all right, gang, I'm going to get on out of here, go get something to eat, and visit with the wife, see what's going on for this afternoon. Thank you once again. I appreciate everybody. And trust me, next week the show will be 100 times better because we'll be back to normal. And Shannon will be here to save my bacon again. So everybody take care and have a great rest of your week. And until then, adios. Whoops. And you think I would be ready with the thing, but I'm not. I'm not.